Black boy is gunned down in an Asian store. The Asian shooter goes to trial and gets acquitted. The video demonstrates that the black boy had to leave his bag. Maybe he attempted to steal something, and the black community is in an uproar because they're saying, how come our black boys' lives, that Snicker bars, Skittles, or anything that comes out of a store is worth more than the life of a black person? Well, then there was a suggestion about blacks boycotting Asian stores because Asian stores often forget that the customers are the ones that's paying their mortgage, getting their kids through school, taking care of their livelihood. So the Asian community has come out in uproar. And the one that got my attention the most is the one that says, your niggerism is why you are treated the way you are treated. And if you wouldn't stop practicing niggerism, then people would care about you more. That one struck home to me because she is absolutely right. What she is not aware of is this. Number one, people with dark skin are the global majority. Number two, race issue, and race argument is a giant state of ignorance. It is a commitment to ignorance to be racist. And for blacks or dark-skinned people to engage in that behavior is against our spiritual consciousness. What is our spiritual consciousness? Let me help you understand, non-white people. Our spiritual consciousness is that we are the direct descendants of God. Hence the reason why we are the global majority. Hence the reason why we have melanated skin. Hence the reason why everything that has been thrown at us, we don't die, we multiply. There is no light-skinned, pale, white person that can manipulate their genetics to create a lighter skin or race of people. Black man, white woman, black baby. White man, black woman, black baby. Asian woman, black man, black baby. Asian woman, Asian man, black woman, black baby. No matter how you cut it, white man, Asian, other, that melanated skin is going to come through. We are the descendants of God spiritually because every force that comes at us, we don't respond in violence. We don't blow up schools. We don't blow up planes. We don't blow up ourselves. We don't give harm. So the Asian woman who got on social media and was screaming and yelling about, I wish I would try to boycott. We don't need your money. I guarantee you do. But let me help you and the rest of the others get a clear understanding of why niggerism is tolerated, promoted, and okay by the overall majority of all people in all cultures everywhere. You see, white men who were super minorities, rich white men who were even more marginalized and minorities, convinced other white men that it was okay for them to suffer in masses as long as they were not black. The anger of those white men who were struggling, starving, scraping to make ends meet, spilled over where they were allowed to harm black people. Where did this harm, where did this culture, where did this practice come from harming African descendants come from? Oh, it wasn't slavery. It was the nature of the minority to survive. Why? Because the leaders, the owners, the makers of the planet Earth were dark-skinned people. They were doing brain surgeries, education, and mass scholars, and these people that have been renamed like Socrates and Plato, and these people were Africans. And these white people decided that they did not want to follow the norm. They wanted to break out because they were different. And they came out of the Caucasus Mountains. And as time evolved, they multiplied and wanted dominance. They get to a country where the people are so giving, they saying, this land is all yours. Those slave ships didn't come here in masses. These dark-skinned people were already here. Christopher Columbus told you they are Indians because he was lost and confused and didn't have a black navigator. So as time goes on, when blacks decide we want to segregate, you know what happened to blacks when they were showing upright citizenship? Their communities got burnt down to the ground. When they showed economic power, not one Black Wall Street, several Black Wall Streets, showing that they were demonstrating gaining wealth, showing that they understood commerce, showing that they were masters of the universe. You know what white mobs did? Burn it down, lynch the banks, raided, robbed, steal, and the government, military, backed them. When they showed that they were going to take a political stance and created things like the Black Panther Party throughout the nation to feed the our youth, take care of our communities, protect our communities. Tell whites, we don't want you here, we got it. You know what you did? The CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, under J. Edgar Hoover, created COINTELPRO, an entire government mission to destroy black people, black education, and black empowerment. When your government gets behind you and say politically you cannot have any power, when someone like Obama gets elected and you show that the only agenda he can push is the gay agenda and everything else they were in an uproar about, but then we have a nigga in the White House right now that you dummies don't have a problem with him just getting richer and richer while you get poor and poorer, but it's tolerated. Why would a certain group of people allow music that destroys another group of people to sit down and talk about killing each other? We're not allowed to talk about killing Jews. We're not allowed to talk about killing Asians. We're not allowed to talk about killing whites. We only allowed to talk about, do you think that's an accident? Niggerism is promoted and tolerated because anything outside of that, when we get academic achievements, you know how many black billionaires is in America? But you always want to keep us to 1 billion. Oh, it's Oprah, she's only worth 1 billion. So she don't give incentive to other blacks. You know how many black millionaires there are? How many scholars? How many educational people? Why we don't see that in the media? Because we are the only race, only group of people who are marginalized, disabled, attacked, terrorized, experimented on, mass incarceration, slavery, terrorism after terrorism. Every decade there's been a new form of terrorism, and we don't die, we multiply because we are the closest people to God. When we unify spiritually, either through Elijah Muhammad, Fard Muhammad, Farrakhan, or whoever, instead of y'all saying, let us just mind our business, you do your best to assassinate Malcolm, assassinate Martin, assassinate everybody else and blame it on a civilian when we know better. So what are we supposed to do? If we pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and we don't even have boots, when we do the impossible with nothing, and politically we get shot down, economically we get burnt down and bombed, academically we get our schools burnt to this crisp and the books burnt and the teachers lynched. So socially, we're not even allowed to deal with each other. So no matter what we do, we are under attack, always marginalized, and always told we are second-class citizens. Yes, what you're going to see is niggerism. Because everything else is unsatisfying to white people. No matter how much we are upstanding, no matter how much we go out, no matter what we do, there are a certain small group of tiny white men who feel threatened by our presence. And they happen to be super rich, and they control politics, and they control the police, and they control the government. And as long as you and I, Miss Asian, are at odds, as long as you and I, white racist man, are at odds, as long as you and I, Latino who don't believe he's black and he really believes he's a Republican and whites love him until they deport him, while you and I are at odds, these rich men are getting richer and keeping us distracted. So, Asian woman, you don't want us to boycott your stores. Niggerism is what keep your stores and your hair weave and your beauty supplies. And while we don't have our own businesses, niggerism is what keeps you alive. Niggerism is tolerated and okay, and there for you to point the finger so you can be so distracted about something silly as a commitment to ignorance like race that you forget what is most important. Because when we at resorts, and when we on vacation, and we on private jets, and we doing things that's economical, you don't see niggas. You just see people. When you're hanging out with your family, you realize that you just want love, peace, and happiness like the rest of us. The difference is, in our entire existence in North America, it was illegal for us to have love, peace, and happiness. It wasn't allowed, and it was tolerated for others to destroy it. That's why niggerism is alive.